Hi everyone. Promise to do out again. I've been listening to a few people discuss about the minimum wage seems to still be an issue, a lingering issue, and some people think the federal government cannot afford it. I like uh, the way Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, who has always been on the side of the people. And actually, I like the way he shared the record of what he's done for Nigeria. And for people like that, posterity will judge them well. And also, we, the youth, also, we always remember them as, good leaders and heroes of Nigeria who fought for democracy, who also keeps fighting, even in the civilian government. So, yes, he supported that state governors, if they want to, if they have the political will, can pay the minimum wage or the living wage as it's supposed to be. I also listened to the arguments of Governor Soludo, where he says, if you, he says he pities Tinubu, President Tinubu, and also that we don't talk about productivity, and that he also made statements like the governors should also be put on minimum wage, which I agree. Just like Fadeji Kembaka speaks or spoke, not too long ago. You see, the thing with Nigeria is that there are divergence of opinions, there are dissenting voices when you come out to do anything. And it's good to have different councils. But the truth remains that if we really want to help ourselves, work with data. I hear that some places in Nigeria sell bag of rice for like 90,000 naira, right? So if you buy a bag of rice 90,000 naira, your minimum wage is 62,000. It doesn't make any sense, right? So I don't care what economic school or what people that are regarded as the professors and authority in the fields of economics are saying. The most important thing that matters to the common man, that matters to Nigerians is, what is my purchasing power? Can I buy bread? Can I buy food for my family? Can I pay my rent? Can I pay my school fees? So this is what we're discussing. Inflation is high. So unless you reduce inflation, then you can pay them 62 pounds. Oh, sorry, 62,000 naira. But as far as inflation is as high as it is in Nigeria, I don't want to hear that we cannot afford it. That's keneko keneko. And I think we need to start distinguishing the issues. Let's not listen to the government or the governors when they try and play that fast one on us. These guys are very intelligent. They know the English to speak, to sort of play a fast one on the people. Tell them that private sector cannot do it. And I see Soludo there making comparison to people that own schools and people that own companies that produce bottled water. And I ask, if you expect the private sector or everybody in Nigeria to earn a minimum of 30K, right? And they pay taxes, right? What about you, the federal and state governments? Do you also pay tax? You see, we are very silly because sometimes we make unhealthy comparisons and want to use it to justify our wicked. Okay, look at the infographics that came out not too long ago. From 2 billion in 1999, the the National Assembly have managed to increase their budget to 344, but you managed to keep the minimum wage as low as 30,000, 27,000 in over 30 years. It's ridiculous. We don't really want to tell ourselves the truth. Sorry, not up to 30 years, but anyway, it's ridiculous. We don't want to tell ourselves the truth. If you want to tell ourselves the truth, even 250 is too small. Because if you compare it with what it is in dollar, it's not really a living wage. With that, cap, and when I mean cap, the limit to what they could earn for a level one staff, it's it's impossible for them to be able to desire some things. How much is a car? How much is you know and let's not forget the whole of NYSC. All these people earn minimum wage. NYSC, and I don't know how many millions, or but across the whole federation, the federal government pays them that minimum wage. So it is impossible for you to say, take this thing and equate it to what the private sector, who pays taxes. You see, in the UK, for example, or in the West, people that earn that low don't pay tax. They don't pay tax. I don't know what the taxing system is in Nigeria, if these low earners pay tax or pay taxes. But then at the end of the day, the point is the federal government should focus on their conversation with the NLC. We're not asking you to increase the wage across board. Just focus on the barest minimum, the cleaners. Those are the bottom of the pyramid. Just focus on those ones. Increase it to something reasonable. Something reasonable, something in 6 figures. It must be in 6 figures. If it's not in 6 figures, you're joking. So at the end of the day, increase it to 6 figures, and at the same time, make sure you make things easier for them. Let them have the CNG, all those agreements that they have already agreed. Provide all those things, because that's your responsibility. That's your primary responsibility. Now, in the conversation of the private sector, we know the private sector, there are some private sectors that are wealthier than the federal government, so to speak. If you work in an oil company, if you work in a bank, there are some private sectors that, you are well looked after. You have a better package than working for the federal government. So in those cases, those people can, as well as pay higher, but also give tax exemption for those who are on level 1, or who are below that minimum wage or living wage bracket. Okay, so that said, we also need to understand that some state governors are not even paying the 30,000. People have said it publicly that state governments are not paying what the federal government asked them to pay long ago. So let's leave the argument that, because private sector said no, because the state governors said no, that they cannot pay or they cannot afford to pay 62,000, then we are going to leave it. No, forget that tripartite discussion. Federal government, agree what you want to pay. Agree that you are going to pay 6 figures. Let the state government augment. Some states can pay. Some states have better allocation. Look at how much Lagos has. Look at how much Delta State has. Let those people that are very strong maintain what the federal government is paying. And those state governments will come along, just like it has always been anyway. There is nobody there to enforce that all the private sectors are going to pay, that all the gatesmen are paid 30,000. It's impossible in Nigeria for you to make sure that everybody is earning 30,000 naira minimum. I don't think there's anybody enforcing that. People earn as little as 5,000 naira a month in Nigeria. People earn as little as 17,000 as a nurse. So let's not be joking about all these things. Let's be serious. If the federal government want to do what they want to do, let's let them ignore the state government and the private sector and do what is asked of them. How much is being lost in Nigeria daily? How much is our resource, that are being stolen, amounts to. So if we want to tell ourselves the truth, we could do it. And people that are saying what of the productivity, first of all, will you ask a hungry man to produce anything for you? You can't tell a hungry man to work. A hungry man has to feed before they can what? Produce. You have to make sure there is welfare before your workforce can increase productivity. So it's a no-brainer that people are telling you to give them money and you are asking, we've not discussed productivity. You have to first of all look after them before they will use their minds and their church minds to work for you. So I think the answer to the question is actually in the question itself. Productivity is there because you've not increased their minimum wage. They're telling you that they are working, but they are living as if they are not working. And we need to make sure that those discussions are had and their grievances that they've already raised are met with solutions. And that's the only way we could move forward. If anything, reduce what you are paying to the senators and the governors and use that money to augment what the Labour Congress is asking for. I think if we do this, everybody will be happy. Otherwise, we'll just be fooling ourselves, comparing ourselves to what a gateman is earning and somebody in private sector who is paying taxes are earning. Thank you.